What do you want?
Good evening, and welcome to the post-game press conference following tonight's NCAA Tournament first-round match between the College of Charleston Cougars and the Utah Utes. Right now from Utah, we have head coach Beth Launiere, as well as student-athletes Emrie Satuala and Lauren Jardine. Before we get started, I'd like to remind everyone to please silence all cell phones, and we also have a wireless microphone, so we'll get that to you. Please raise your hand when you have a question. And we're going to begin the presser with a statement from the head coach, followed by questions for Coach Launiere and our student athletes. So, Coach, your opening statement whenever you're ready.
Very pleased with the win. That was a fairly typical Utah volleyball match in terms of we got contributions from a lot of different players at different times through the course of the match. Whether it was, a big kill by, somebody on the right side, or the middle's coming up big at certain points, or our left side's finding the court, or some big digs. And, that's what we talked about in the locker room that's been a defining thing for our team, is that we have a lot of different people contribute. And I thought that was pretty typical of us tonight. We had some, we dug a lot of balls. Our libero had 14 digs and Camry Bailey had 16 digs. And so, we know that we're a big physical team at the net, but I was really proud of our defense tonight. Really proud of our defense. I think our middles did their job as they normally do. Emrie, 8 kills, no errors, 11 attempts, hitting 727. Nice match.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just noticed that. Allie Olsen, and like I said, different people just came up big at different times. Lo had a moment to where she carried us in the third set. So pretty typical match. Couldn't be more pleased. College of Charleston played a very good match. I felt like, obviously their block was a big issue for us. And we had to deal with that, and we had to figure out how to hit high and with more range, because they were imposing their block on us. And I thought they, played a good match, and it's a really, really good team and such a great program. So congratulations to them.
Beth, the two sitting next to you both had 4 blocks apiece. How important was it to be able to have that great defense at the net, and just kind of what they were able to do to kind of keep you guys in front that way?
Our defense, the important thing about our defense is that we do have the arms to go back and get some transition kills. So if our defenders in the back row can give us a chance, we can extend rallies and we can finish rallies. And so they were very key for us tonight.
Hi, Beth. Congratulations on the win tonight.
Thanks.
How do you have a quick turnaround with Marquette tomorrow night? How do you prepare for that? Do you watch film tonight? What do you go through, and what can you prepare for Marquette tomorrow?
Well, first thing is our players have to do a good job at recovery. And then, the coaches will probably go up to the offices right now and finalize either tonight or tomorrow morning and finalize our scouting report. My staff does a great job at preparing the scouting report, and I know they've already done a lot of work on Marquette. So it'll be just finalizing our plan, and then, get it to them. And we already have video. They already have video on Marquette, and I'm sure they'll be watching probably a little bit tonight as well.
Lauren and Emrie, with where the program was last year, being able to get to the NCAA tournament is obviously a great or opportunity. But now to get that win and kind of be hosting, what does it mean for you two now to get that first one out of the way, where you can kind of settle in maybe, or what's it like?
I think it's really cool just to see all of our hard work paying off. I think we worked really hard in the spring and over the summer and in the fall, and things are just coming together. So I still think we have so much room to grow. So I think that this is really cool to see how our team will peak at the end of the season.
I agree. I also think that having the fans and the atmosphere of Utah volleyball keeps us steady, and being able to play with people that, we see our family in the crowd, and being able to have that support behind us really, really helps calm our nerves.
Questions?
Beth, as you mentioned, you said you had a lot of players who contributed tonight, and that kind of is indicative of your guys' chemistry. What does that look like throughout the entirety of this season, and how special is it to kind of see that come out in your first tournament game tonight?
I was pleased with the composure that we showed at certain times, and then somebody would be able to come up and get us out of we got into some sticky situations, but this team all year long has found solutions to some of that, and it's happened a lot, as it does with every team. And this team's extremely selfish. It doesn't matter to them who leads us in kills or who leads us in digs. They don't look at that. They are as tight a group as we've had, and when you have that kind of team chemistry and you have that kind of selflessness, then teams can do good things, and that's what this team is truly about.
As Josh kind of mentioned earlier, last season you guys didn't make the tournament, but this season you're back, which has kind of been a standard for your program. What kind of tone were you hoping to set going into this game, and where do you feel like you're at heading into the Marquette game, knowing how you played tonight?
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily about any kind of statement, honestly. It's just about getting the win, and one win at a time, and typical, coach speak, I get it, but it's not about statements. It's, one thing I've learned in the NCAA tournament is every match has its own story, and it truly is about matchups, and so that's going to be our job, is to figure out, what are their strengths and how do we neutralize them, and they're going to do the same thing of us, but, is it a good matchup for us? And we still got to dig in and kind of figure that out, but yeah, every match has its story, and tomorrow will be a totally different storyline.
Lauren and Emrie, just kind of walk me through, Lauren, how you kind of caught fire there in the third set, and Emrie, what'd you see from Lauren there, just as she kind of caught fire and kind of carried you guys for just a little bit?
I think that moment changed when one of my teammates was like, "We need you right now," and I think that being able to have that open conversation with each one of my teammates, knowing that they rely on me and being able to step up to that role, I think is really important, especially when it happens to different players each time. So I carried part of the match, Emrie carried part of the match, Gibby carried part of the match, and each one of my teammates can do the same thing.
Yeah, I think that we've seen all throughout the season, just how much maturity we've each grown. Lauren especially, I think it takes a lot to put your ego aside and not want to just go out and bang balls and want to be that player on the team who carries, but we've done a good job of just giving what the team needs when they need it. So I think Lauren did a good job of stepping up when we needed her to step up.
Emrie and Lauren, I'm just curious to get kind of both of your thoughts on just how the team was able to handle the emotions of opening the postseason tonight. You come out in every set, you end up getting the lead, you never trailed all night. Just how was the team able to handle the emotions tonight?
I said before the match, we have a team motivation that we do before every match, and ours was about when you love the people you're around, you work really, really hard for them. And so we were fighting as hard as we possibly could because we loved the people we were next to. And I think that just adds more depth and variety to when people do take over, when people do need to take a step back, everybody is involved no matter what, regardless of whether you're on or off the court. And so I think that's one part of our really special team.
Yeah, I think that recently we've talked about just going point by point, set by set, match by match, and so I think just really staying present and focusing on not getting ahead of ourselves has really just kept us in a lot of games.
One more question for our coach and student athletes.
Just talk to me a little bit about Marquette. What I know you said it's a game about matchups. What are you sort of expecting in terms of the lineup? Do you expect to make any tinkers? I know you probably won't share too much, but what do you guys see from them so far? And just kind of walk me through your thoughts on tomorrow's matchup.
Yeah, I think they've got some physicality. They've got some live arms that we're going to have to contend with, and they're going to have the ability to terminate in long rallies. So who's going to do it first? So I think that's going to be an interesting part of it. I think they're good servers. We noticed that statistically. We've got that figured out. So our serve receive is going to be very, very important. When we can pass the ball in system and get the ball to our middles to early on, then that starts opening things up for us a lot. And so but I think we're going to face some really aggressive servers, so that's going to be, I think, probably part of the storyline.
Coach Lauren, Emrie, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.